Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanamchari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe.
Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe.
Jai Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe.
Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe.
Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada 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 Gaur Pimanande. Daim Shubhad Paramahamsa. Pri Vrajagachajastu Tarasatta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace. Hiraboy Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Skandi Biti Founder Charya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Jaini Thai Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksurandritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabhadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Dalita Sri Visakanditam Syam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Trubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayanam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhaviti Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and a loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavata Nama
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Sloka Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
Dhanyam Swastyayanam Mahat.
Dhanyam Sailam Mamahat.
This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita Gadadhara
Sri Advaita Gadadhara
Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Surabhyaya Namaha
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 Mukham karoti vacharam pangom nagayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing from Canto number 1, chapter 11, entitled Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. 12. Yes. So the next few verses actually describing, because we are entering Dwarka, what Dwarka looks like. Yes. Okay. Sarvartu. Sarva. Vibhava. Punya. Vriksha. Latasramai. Okay, we'll break this up here a little bit. Latasramai. Okay. Okay, we'll just Udyanopavana Ramaira Vrita Padmakara Sriyam Asramai. Okay. Sarvartu Sarva Vibhava Punya Vriksha Latashramai Udyano Pavana Ramair Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Shriyam
Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava
Sarvatu Sarva Vibhava
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Punya Vriksha Latashramai
Udyanopavanā Rāmayar
Udyanupavanāramai
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Shriyam
Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava
Sarvatu Sarva Vibhava
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Punya Vriksha Latashramai
Udyanopavanā Rāmayar
Udyanupavanāramai
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Shriyam
Sarvartu Sarva Vibhava
Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava
Punna Vriksha Latasramai
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Uddana Pavana Ramayr
Udyanopavanā Rāmayar
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Sarvartu Sarva Vibhava
Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava
Punya Vriksha Latashramai
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Udyano Pavana Ramayr
Udyanopavanā Rāmayar
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Sarvatu Sarva Vibhava
Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Punya Vriksha Latasramai
Udyanupavanāramai
Udyanopavanā Rāmayar
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam
Vrita Padmakara Sriyam Sarvartu Sarvabhibhava Punya Vriksha Latasramai Udyanopavanā Rāmayar Vrita Padmakara Sriyam Sarva
Sarva
all
Ritu
seasons Sarva all Vibhava opulences Punya pious Vriksha trees Lata creepers Ashramai with hermitages Udyana orchards Upavana flower gardens. So there's vana, which means forest, and upavana.
Flower garden.
Yeah, small forest.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
small forest.
Just like Veda, Upaveda.
Yes.
Yeah. Aramai, pleasure gardens
Pleasure gardens
and beautiful parks.
and beautiful parks.
We're going to have our pleasure garden here.
Yes.
Radhakunda Park. Vrita, surrendered by Padma Akara, the birthplaces of lotuses or nice reservoirs of water. Sriyam, increasing the beauty. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada ki jai. The city of Dwarka Puri. There is Dwarka and Dwarka Puri. The city of Dwarka Puri was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over. Kindly repeat after me. The city of Dwarka Puri
The city of Dwarkapuri
was filled with the opulences
was
filled with the opulences
of all seasons.
of all seasons.
There were hermitages,
There were hermitages,
orchards,
orchards,
flower gardens,
flower gardens,
parks and reservoirs
parks and reservoirs,
of water-breeding lotus flowers
water breeding lotus flowers
all over.
all over.
Purport. Perfection of human civilization is made possible by utilizing the gifts of nature in their own way. As we find herewith in the description of its opulence, Dwarka was surrounded by flower gardens and fruit orchards, along with reservoirs of water and growing lotuses. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses, which are the necessary paraphernalia of the modern metropolis. The propensity to utilize nature's own gifts is still there, even in the heart of modern civilized man. The leaders of modern civilization select their own residential quarters in the place where there are such natural, beautiful gardens and reservoirs of water. But they leave the common men to reside in congested areas without parks and gardens. Herein, of course, we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. It is understood that the whole dham, or residential quarter, was surrounded by such gardens and parks with reservoirs of water where lotuses grew. It is understood that all the people depended on nature's gifts of fruits and flowers without industrial enterprises, promoting filthy huts and slums for residential quarters. Advancement of civilization is estimated not on the growth of mills and factories to deteriorate the finer instincts of the human being, but on developing the potent spiritual instincts of human beings and giving them a chance to go back to Godhead. Development of factories and mills is called ugra karma, or pungent activities. In another place, Srila Prabhupada translates ugra karma as ferocious activities. What does ferocious mean? Ferocious.
Full with anger.
Yes, very uncontrolled.
Yes.
Ferocious. Yeah. Means connected with the mode of passion.
Yes.
Yeah. And such activities deteriorate the finer sentiments of the human being and society to form a dungeon of demons. What's a dungeon? Dungeon. What's another word for dungeon? Huh?
Big group.
Group. It's like
underground prison.
huh?
Underground prison.
Prison.
Yes.
Yeah, dungeon. Throw them in the dungeon. Throw them in the prison. Right. So people in cities, modern day cities, that is like living in prison actually. We have a little balcony in the high rise. Prabhupada, what did Prabhupada call the small balconies? Pigeonhole.
Pigeonhole.
A small birdhouse, just one pigeonhole. And the second portion of the purport, we find herein the mention of pious trees, which produce seasonal flowers and fruits. The impious trees are useless jungles only, and they can only be used to supply fuels. In a modern civilization, such impious trees are planted on the side of roads. Human energy should be properly utilized in developing the finer senses for spiritual understanding, in which lies the solution of life. The fruits, flowers, beautiful gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, with ducks and swans playing in the midst of the lotus flowers, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter, are essential for developing the finer tissues of the human body. As against this, the dungeons of mines, the factories, and workshops develop demoniac propensities in the working class. The vested interests flourish at the cost of the working class, and consequently there are severe clashes between them in so many ways. The description of Dwarka Dham is the ideal of human civilization. Translation again, the city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over. So by hearing the description of Dwarkapuri, it can give us some insight, some understanding of even in modern day cities. Of course, in modern day cities, very difficult, but that is meant to be the standard. Things that are more connected with nature, as mentioned here, different gardens, flowers, fruit trees, etc. And Prabhupada makes the point also how those who are more having more opulence, whenever they get an opportunity, they come out of the city and go to the country, even ordinary people. And we see this especially in the summertime when the weather is nice in the Western countries, because in the winter it's miserable. People go out with their trailers. They go to the forest. They have what they call national parks. They maintain nicely, government, and people spend 1 week, 10 days, or a couple of weeks. So natural surrounding, living in a more natural surrounding, living more in connection with Mother Nature, helps to develop what is called the finer sentiments. Prabhupada makes reference here. a few times in the purport. The yeah, twice, at least twice, he mentions about sentiments. So the finer, what does it mean, finer sentiments? Finer sentiments has to do with being sensitive. Finer sentiments ultimately are meant to bring us to the spiritual sentiments, isn't it? If the dealings between individuals is not based on what we call finer sentiments, means being more sensitive to one another, being more sensitive to the environment, being more sensitive to our respective duties and services. Then we develop what Bhagavatam describes as a heart that is steel framed. When we are not awakening our Krishna consciousness, the tendency is to remain steel-hearted. Means not caring, means not having the ability to be sensitive. So by nature, the jiva is sentient. Sentient means we have senses, means we have feelings. And these are meant to be, in Krishna consciousness, these are meant to be awakened. And so there's a particular way of living, a particular place, and also particular activities, just like Prabhupada makes reference to factories. Factories, most of the cities are surrounded by factories, which produce all kinds of non-essential goods. So, city of Dwarka in this way is exemplary. Of course, in some cities they have some parks, but the general mood and mentality is not favoring this development of these finer sentiments in human beings. So it also mentions that even in the cities they had probably one section of the city, hermitages. What is hermitage?
Kutir.
Yeah.
Kutir, ashram.
Means generally saintly persons.
Yes.
Like if we go in the Himalayas, there are so many different places where sadhus are staying, hermitage. So even, it's mentioned here, even in the city of Dwarka, there were places for sadhus. Hermitage is a place where generally sadhus are living.
They build it themselves, or is it built by the government or the city, or built by the sadhu themselves? Like So, for example, if Sadhu wants to go to stay someplace, he go to build him that hermitage
Oh,
himself, or is there already and he go to stay.
well, if we look at the situation in India, the two ways are there, just like we still have in India, maybe less nowadays, what they call dharmashala. What's a dharmashala? Dharmashala is shala, just like we're building Goshala, Yagyashala. So shala means, what's the meaning of shala? Place. Goshala, place for cows. Yagyashala, place for jagya. Patshala, place for learning. Yogashala, place for practicing yoga. So dharmashala actually is for people who practice dharma. But dharmashala means a guest house, free guest house, free room. Not only that, free prasadam, isn't it? Did you ever visit or stay in a dharmashala?
But nowadays dharmasala is also paid.
Well, it's not the real original dharmashala.
The name is dharmasala, but
Yeah, dharmashala. Yeah, they have forgotten the meaning of dharma. Yeah, they should put guest house. So dharmashala means that the government, in the Vedic culture, that's one of the, either the government directly, the kshatriyas, or very often it would be like the Vaishyas, Marwaris. Marwaris used to build dharmashalas.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Vaishyas. Marwaris is one kind of Vaishya. They're very good in business. When you're good in business, you make money.
Yes.
Right? And if you're Krishna conscious, then you want to help people, especially who are dharmic. If you're dharmic, you care about those and you help those who are, dharmic. So in the Vedic culture, that is like built in. Those who are, Vaishyas are leaders. We're discussing yesterday 3 types of leaders: Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, and Brahmanas. So the Vaishyas, they have money. Actually, the Kshatriyas also have money because they levy taxes. So they build different nice facilities for those who are mendicants. Not only mendicants are those who are, let's say, like sannyasis, or those who are like in Vanaprastha, they're mendicants. But also in the Vedic culture, that is, again, an integral part of the Vedic culture to go on pilgrimage. So householders also, they go on pilgrimage. I mean, whole families together, they go on pilgrimage. In the olden days, they would go on pilgrimage walking, like we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. They would go and take many days, if not many weeks. And therefore, because that is built in the Vedic culture, those who are leaders, again, the Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, they would make facilities. They would facilitate by building dharmashalas, by taking care of like holy places. You see, what is very important in the Vedic culture, in addition to, let's say, holy places, are villages where water facility. So government would be responsible to make wells, to make lakes. Just like here in Bengal, if you go around Bengal, it's full of what is it? Tanks, water tanks.
Yes.
Yeah, pukur. They call pukur. Yeah, I mean traditionally, when I had gone in the early days, we would go to villages in the Namhata program, and we went to a group of devotees. We went to on the border of Orissa and Bengal. It's Balasore district. In Balasore district, that is where Rimuna, famous Kirchor Gopinath is in Rimuna. Is hiding in Rimuna, and his Kir is also hiding there. So we went to one village where in the house that we stayed, I didn't know at the time. I was still relatively new here in India. So it was a mud house because before mainly, only actually, before the invention of cement, it was mud house. So the way it's done is that you have a piece of land. Let's say you acquire some piece of land. Then you have somebody who knows about like architecture, who knows people, they have basic idea. And one place you dig up your soil to build your house from mud. And then the place that you dug up becomes pukur. So simultaneously you have a house and you have pukur. The pukur is usually very close to the house, so that in the morning you go and take your bath in the pukur or whatever. And in some places, they'll have lotus flowers. And so actually, even now in some of the places here in Bengal, it's very beautiful. I mean, now it's less because so much of unnatural practices are there, but villages, even city, now we've just entered Dwarka city, Dwarka Puri. So it's meant to be very, very attractive, very, very pleasing. So we should, when we read such descriptions, then we should look around and see, well, what are we doing? And we should know that this is one important aspect that we are endeavoring to what we call to showcase. Showcase means when people come, especially in a place that is still very much close to nature, connected with nature, except for a few buildings that are not so natural. Of course, in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada, he was staying, as we know, when he came to Mayapur, in a bamboo hut, which is still there, right? The kutir, as we enter. Everyone went to the kutir? Huh? At the entrance, there's an entrance to, if you don't come by car, because if you come by car, you come in the parking lot, but if you enter by walking, so immediately on the left side is Prabhupada's kutir, where he stayed, where the small Radha Madhava were staying, actually, before the Lotus building. You've seen?
No, maybe I've seen that.
So I'm just saying, Prabhupada, when he was staying there...
I saw just his car. The car he was using.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why we should go on pilgrimage walking. Walking bare feet also. It is said in the Dham one should not be wearing shoes. That's what our Prahlad was telling. Prahlad Prajapati, more lately, he was coming to pick me up to go. I said, where are your shoes? Oh, no, in the Dham. Yeah. Huh?
He told also to do not have,
right.
do not wear shoes.
Yes.
We don't.
It's very, it saves money on shoes, and also
Connect to the ground.
yeah, connect to the
Directly connection to Dham.
to Dham, connect, yeah, because even if one is not living in Dham, walking, connecting with the soil, with Mother Earth, you become what is called more grounded,
Yes.
literally
Yes, yes, yes.
grounded, yeah. And it's more healthy actually.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have this opportunity, and we should be conscious of doing things where nature is we are facilitating, so to speak, nature by having these garden, by looking after our different plants, etc., like that. Yeah. So the whole purpose of all of living in this way, which is again mentioned very nicely in the purport by Srila Prabhupada, is to in many ways what is it? Soften the heart, make the heart a more natural place where we can be more aware, more sensitive to our environment, to other living entities, and ultimately, if we cannot do this important point, if we cannot be sensitive to others, if we cannot be caring for the environment, knowing it to be Krishna's nature, Krishna's energy, then how we can be sensitive ultimately to Krishna, isn't it? If we cannot be aware and sensitive and learn to live in harmony with nature, material nature, this is in many ways like a training or testing ground. Then how we can develop even finer sentiments, more refined sentiments, which are needed actually on the spiritual transcendental level. So this is I'm not sure. Well, eventually when we do have the pond, we will have lotuses. You don't need to have a pond actually to have. Don't need to have a big pond to have lotuses. I think somebody was trying to get some lotuses. You just need a small reservoir of water. So this is the verse. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulence of all opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, just like we have. This is called banana orchard. This is called mango orchard. So different types of orchards are there in the city. Flower gardens, parks and reservoirs of water breeding lotus flowers all over. So Vrindavan, of course this is Dwarka, but Vrindavan is also like that. All types of different flowers. We should have similar flowers that are growing in Vrindavan. Probably most of the flowers that grow in flowers or trees, it's like they have kadamba trees. You've seen kadamba tree? You've seen? When they're here in Mayapur, actually. When we go to close to Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi, there are many kadamba trees, and kadamba tree grow quite big, very big actually, very tall, and give beautiful kadamba flowers, which are round in nature and make beautiful garlands. Yeah. Our workers have come? Huh?
Bamboo mystery.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Only bamboo mystery didn't. Right. So any questions on this?
I have a small question. You talked about walking barefoot in a dam.
Yes.
When it will become colder, like winter time, and will be cold, shall we continue walking barefoot, or better to wear shoes? Like time, place, circumstances. Now we have to just follow.
You see, some depends on your body. If your body can take it, it's okay. Otherwise, one should not, because we have different. What is okay for one person may not, because we have different constitution, different. Yeah. Of course, generally everyone feels cold, but I mean. What they generally do, like I know in Vrindavan it gets very cold, as you may know, and they have marble, and marble is very cold. I mean, when it's cold, the marble absorbs that and so therefore they put mat. I mean, like in the temple. Otherwise, if you're walking, it's not generally such a big problem. I mean, if you're in Canada in the wintertime, you don't go barefoot because you're walking on snow. So in that condition, you definitely should not wear, I mean, it's like sadhus who make a vow of just wearing, wooden shoes. Well, wooden shoes in America just don't fly so well because in the wintertime, you just can't wear wooden shoes. So according to time, place, and circumstance. So whenever possible, we try to follow what is more in line with the Vedic tradition without becoming, without being fanatic about it. There is niyamagraha and niyam agraha. Overly following, being overly strict in following on one side, and then on the other side not following anything. So one has to find according to one situation, which may vary from one person to another, isn't it? Yeah. It's also connected with the whole aspect of tapasya, because tapasya, austerity, what one person can do. It's like you ask an ordinary person who's never fasted to follow a full fast, Nirjal on Ekadasi, he can't do it. Most people cannot do it. They'll faint. Their body is just not able to do it. But devotees who are practice fasting Nirjal Ekadasi is not a major problem, So it depends on the body and also the mind. The body and the mind. To Parijata tree, yes. Yes. You can take it back to Togo and Burkina Faso. Here in Mayapur, you have to go around. There's, I think we have here.
Garden.
Yeah, you probably don't have to go. It's just small yet. Yeah. So you can't take that one.
Just see what is
Yeah, right. But yeah, these are the. It makes very nice scent, no smell. Yeah. You can give him darshan of the Parijata tree. No, I mean, if all of us, of course, we cannot. Not everyone can become a gardener, but we actually we should introduce, because it's practiced in a few places. We should introduce that every resident here, for whatever period of time one may stay, every week, like 2 days a week or 3 days a week, should spend like 2 hours in the gardens.
Yes.
Getting their hands, it's just like when we will have Goshala. Actually, somebody yesterday was kind of like auspicious. Yesterday was Govardhan Puja, as we know, and our Haridas, in the evening, he sends me a nice picture of a cow. And he says, Maharaj, this is a Kapila cow. Kapila. Kapila cows are divine cows. And he says, somebody wants to give this cow.
Jai.
And this cow, in 15, 20 days, will have a calf. Oh. So I said, Prabhu, I gave him a few things. Find out about this, find out about this, find out about that. It's like to know more. It's like before we accept somebody to live in the ashram, we should know. They should have some reference, or we should know more. So why somebody wants to give? Sometimes people donate, or maybe they cannot look after the cow or something. But the cow is, I'll show you. Can have darshan. So it's like, we're not making a Goshala that will remain empty, right? So he's getting more information and should send it. Here we go. It looks quite healthy. You can share it. There's 2 pictures, one beside the other.
Yeah.
Black Kapila cow. We have in South India, Kapila. Kapila, very, very, very nice actually. And I believe in Tirupati, they offer only milk from these cows.
Yeah.
Same thing also in Udupi.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need a cowherd boy.
Kapila cow is divine cow.
Kapili cow
Why Kapila cow is divine cow?
is divine cow.
Why?
White?
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's directly connected with Surabhi. Surabhi cow, and because they give very rich milk, and because one Muni was keeping this particular cow, she has special. She has special, I guess, qualities that that are especially we could say appreciated by Krishna, and when they do go puja, she is like the preferred breed for worshipping. I'm sure there's other reasons, but these, because she's very pure. Of course, all cows are pure, but there are different degrees like that. Kapila cows are connected with one Kapila Muni, no?
Yes.
Yeah. There are many wonderful stories actually about cows and how we're talking about hermitages.
Yes.
You know, even in city there are cows. In modern day cities, they're doing away with the cows. You know, and cows are usually packed up somewhere like that. But sadhus, traditionally, they would like live in their hermitage, and they would live with the cow. And some of these cows would be very. Cow is actually some cows are very special.
In our Madhya Pradesh, there is a cow breed called Pungnuru.
Small. Yeah. Where?
Madhya Pradesh.
In Madhya Pradesh. It's also in Andhra.
Yes, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah, near Tirupati. One of our devotees has actually a whole, about 20, 25. They're like small guys, you know. Like.
The bull is also in that.
Yeah, right.
Dark.
Right. And nowadays people, they keep them as pets.
Yes.
But I mean, cow is not. I mean. And yeah, even though they're small, they also give, I think, yeah,
1 to 2 liters.
Yeah, not like 20 liters or like whole whatever. These two things are presently missing in our ashram. What is missing in our ashram? That will change the face of the ashram. Cows and if you have cows, automatically have milk. No? Cows and Radhakund. Cows and Gurukul boys.
Oh.
I was thoughting, but I thought we are Gurukul boys.
No, Gurukul boys.
7 years.
Yeah. You're not Gurukul. You are. You're already a graduate from Gurukul, actually. Yeah. But yeah, it's like in a family, Vedic family, that is understood family is incomplete unless you have children,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
People get married, they have children. Then the family becomes alive.
Yes. Right.
So in ashram, yeah, Gurukul boys, and so I would think that soon after we get cow, we have to have Gurukul boys, because some of the Gurukul boys can learn to look after the cows.
Yes.
I mean, we're not going to have a big herd of cows. We have only a small place, unless Krishna can do anything, huh?
Yeah.
So tomorrow we can find ourselves with a nice piece of land not too far away where cows can be grazing, where we can have a bigger garden, etc. Yeah. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Gauda Premanandi.
Hari Hari Om.